Let's bring in our first guest of the day from Solar Negotiators, Mr. Chris Moran. Hello, Chris. How's it going, buddy? Always good to see you.
How you doing?
Now, Solar Negotiators, you guys are super, super busy, and I know why.
Why is that?
Because you're cheaper than anybody else.
That helps. It certainly helps.
It does, right?
People prefer to pay less.
Now, how did you guys come up with this idea? Because it's different, and it's no doubt you guys are making money. But making money and saving people money is the jam.
Yep. Well, I started the company 6 years ago in my garage, and I was just a Marine who came back from Iraq and bought my home, and I saw how much sense it made. And I grew up in a family-owned business in this area, and then I went and bought my second home, and I because I knew the process, I really I grinded the contractor down a lot and saved myself a lot of money. And I always knew I was going to start my own business. So I said, I want to help other people do this, but I'm not a solar contractor. So how do you start a solar company if you're not a solar contractor? Right. And I said, well, I'll go secure business for contractors. I'll find a good local contractor. And I said, hey, man, give me some rates where I can make some money, but we can be competitive. And for the first 3 years, I worked with one contractor, and it really kind of grew into, I added another contractor to the network. And we kind of act like Hotels.com, where
you're filling space that isn't filled.
Kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, if a hotel room goes empty for the night, they make no money.
Right.
But last minute, they can make $40 on the room. They might as well. So it's the same concept. We help these local contractors in our network, which are well-established local companies with a long time in business, A+ ratings, and we help them stay busy. Because these are not companies that spend exorbitant amount of money on marketing. So, their word-of-mouth referral, that's where they get their projects. And we just kind of pad their schedules for them. So we help local contractors grow, and we grow with them. And so our customers get kind of a streamlined...
Oh, hello, Mother.
Hey, Chuck. Somebody told me to turn my phone off, man. I'm just kidding. But anyways, no, it's all right. We do 40 to 50 projects here in the Central Valley.
You think she'd know by now.
I know, right?
You think she'd be watching?
I'm on the air.
All right, so the things you're saying, it's kind of funny because I hear other advertisers.
They don't like us.
They don't like you guys.
They hate us.
Yeah, and they're going to extreme lengths
to discredit us.
Yes,
I know.
And can I say that?
It's flattering.
Is it
flattering?
Is it flattering?
Oh,
because here's the thing. At first I heard it and I'm like, they're saying mean things about my friend Chris Moran.
Yeah.
Right? And then I call up and I over there at your place and I talk to somebody like, yeah, we don't care about that guy. We're crushing that guy anyway. The desperate people go to desperate measures.
Right.
Well,
as far as he's given us free advertising. What we tell our clients is don't listen to our competitors, listen to our customers. Because we don't have a single complaint anywhere about our company. In fact, all of our reviews are 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5. And the first thing I hand my customer when I walk through the door is a list of about 150 names, first, last name, cell phone number, of people who have given us permission to hand out their name to a random stranger and to be contacted. It's like our own in-house Angie's List. It's like, here's customers, and a lot of times people are like, oh, I know Jim. Right. And they call Jim, and sure enough,
Which is funny, because I'm working in my front yard, and I see this dude walking up the driveway. I'm like, we live in the country. That's probably not a good idea.
Right.
And he's coming up there, hey, Jim down the street just bought some solar from me.
Right.
And he's doing this name-dropping thing. And I'm like, well, first of all, there's no Jim down the street.
Right.
And then I said, well, no, I'm hooked up with the Solar Negotiators. And then they start bad-mouthing you.
Of course they do.
And I'm like, well, if you never want to get my business, try doing something like that.
Right.
Like saying bad things about the other guy, whether I know him or not.
Well, it's unprofessional.
Right.
It makes we don't do that. We'll tell the truth. We'll say, look.
His zipper was down too.
Wait. Are you trying to tell me something? No, we find a lot of companies, they don't understand our model. Because we're not a contractor, they're an unlicensed contractor. Well, we don't perform construction work, and that's what requires a contractor's license. We're registered with the state of California to sell for the companies we work with. So the money's going to them. The paper, it's their contracts. We are just like a salesperson for them. We put that hat on. But we're hired, our company is hired to secure business and then to manage that project start to finish. So the customer has an intermediary almost where we're watching their back, and it's kind of like a real estate agent when you're buying your house. You know, you don't just go make an offer and go through escrow by yourself. You got somebody to go between who's watching your back.
This isn't easy. It's getting tough because what happens is the really smart guys figure out different ways to do it.
Right.
You know, should I lease? Should I buy?
Right.
You know, so what's the answer to that?
Well, the challenge is with a lease, these companies make about $30,000 to $40,000 in overall just bottom line profit.
Wow.
Where we might make,
and at the end you don't really own anything.
No, and you don't even own it.
Right.
So that's why they're
going
to
hooked up to your house.
They own a piece of your property for 20 years, and they're going to give you all the reasons why you don't want to own your system. No, it's a maintenance nightmare. No, you know, it's no money down, and you know, it's just you don't want to worry about. And the truth is they make 4 times as much money when they lease it to you. So when you look at the option, a lease is just a loan. It's a loan on their terms. It's a 20-year loan with no money down, an X% interest rate built in, and you're paying too much in the first place. We encourage people to get financing, which we assist them with. It's still no money down, but you might cut your payments in half and you own it on day one. You get all the benefits, and then someday you're free and clear. You got no payments to anybody.
How long is it free and clear?
Well, I mean, you've got... Most people do a 10 or 12-year option. So let's say they've got a $300 average power bill. We take that down to $5 a month, so 99% offset, and they might have a monthly payment to the financing company of $200.
Right.
So we save them 33% right off the bat, no money out of pocket.
Simple interest.
And,
they pay that $300 that they are normally paying.
Right.
They pay it down in no time.
Right. And so in 10 years, you've not only have you saved $100 a month, and you've avoided the increases that power has every year in price, but you're done in 10 years, and then you're paying nobody. So it's just a better use of the same money.
How much are you saving people per purchase?
Our average, as far as how much lower we are than other companies for the exact same equipment, our average is probably around $5,000 or $6,000.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
Sure is.
Yep.
And money you're not financing too.
Right. Exactly. You're saving on interest and closing costs if there are some.
Now, tell me this: how long is it going to be until people go completely off the grid?
Well, that's starting to happen. You've got Tesla and their Powerwall batteries, and you've got it's still in its infancy. It's still going to be a year or two before you really see that. Because you've got 2 ways you look at solar. You know, when we say people, hey, how about a battery backup and being off the grid? You got 2 options. Some people are just so far away from the grid they can't get power from the grid. So that's their only option. And then there's the backup power option where it's just like, look, the grid went down, I want to be able to run my fridge.
Sure.
That's a lot easier than actually setting up a whole house on a homestead somewhere out in the middle of nowhere.
Because it's tied into your main box.
Right. You're only running a few things for a little while until the grid comes back up. But as far as running an entire house, I mean, there's some serious infrastructure that goes into that. And battery technology is still starting to get to the point where you can even justify doing that.
I got a feeling it's going to move a lot faster than you think.
It's already here.
Right.
And it's already here. But it's to the point where I can't encourage my client to spend another $10,000 on a backup battery system when it's going to be half that cost in 2 years.
Sure.
And a fuel
not proven.
And a fuel generator is $2,000.
Right.
You know what I mean? And requires very little maintenance.
The way you do it, does that mean people get installed quicker?
Our clients have an average install time of about 35 days from the day they say go to when they're installed, and then the power company interconnects about 5 days later.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Chris Moran from Solar Negotiators. If you're thinking about solar, think about Solar Negotiators because they have the Chuck Leonard endorsement.
Right.
All right.
All right.
Chris Moran, always good to see you. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Stick around.